Thank you for attending my paper abstract on collaborative analysis of observational data in healthcare. This is a follow-up to my project abstract, which describes my full PhD project, and this is a piece that came from that work. Observational research is a valuable tool for understanding complexity in healthcare delivery, being a complex adaptive system. However, observational research is time-consuming and resource-intensive. Collaborative analysis offers a solution to the issue of single observer or single analysts that might be used due to those restraints. It not only increases the trustworthiness or reflexivity of the findings, but also allows for a deeper understanding of the nuances, perspectives, and experiences of a variety of healthcare workers. There are guidelines for collaborative analysis in traditional ethnographic or anthropologic research, but there's not any specific guidelines that have been adapted for the use in healthcare specifically that highlights the need for the interdisciplinary perspective. So this is a conceptual paper that addresses the gap by outlining characteristics of a collaborative analysis in the context of healthcare, as well as describes an application. So some valuable characteristics that we found in collaborative analysis are listed here. It includes gathering diverse perspectives from the interdisciplinary healthcare team to ensure a well-rounded understanding of the research context. You want to establish a shared understanding of the research context through review and discussion to ensure consistency in coding by regularly reviewing and discussing the codes as a team, co-creating codes based on a sample data set to ensure that the coding is relevant and accurate, maintaining records of the codebook application, as well as data analysis, and knowing when to follow up and discuss insights or findings to ensure that the research is moving in the right direction. We've actually adapted a step-by-step process. First, to ensure consistency of the coding process, we held an initial meeting, which we called a pre-brief, to review the coding guidelines and practice coding. The study team then conducted an independent analysis of randomly selected sample of approximately 75 lines of data using Google Sheets. The PI also analyzed the same set of codes, taking into account the memos and context of the observations. In a follow-up meeting, the team reviewed the coded data sets, and the goal of this meeting was to establish codes and initial patterns through a conversational and informal consensus-making approach. So this resulted in the creation of a code book that was used for coding all the future sets of data, and it was anticipated that this process would provide clarity and address any differences in coding as needed. The data excerpt, for example, was that the participant stated he would not have the resources he has now without the support of his funders. So in the first pass of coding, there were 3 different analysts. The first coded it as resources or funding, the second as funding or resources, and the third as resources. So the final code that was chosen for codebook use was resources. And as the second and final passes continued through the data sets, what continued to emerge were that the resources the clinic needed and received, and the concept was that there was a relationship between practice, preferences, and the resources. And we have another example listed here. So we are still in the midst of the study, and we expect to gain further insight and have more opportunities for discussion as we go through second and third passes of the data, and particularly just by bringing a diverse perspective of various members of the healthcare team. And this project didn't involve any patient perspectives, but it may be beneficial to consider ways to engage patients in future research by using a collaborative analysis procedure. Thank you for being with me for this poster presentation.